Yeah, I mean, the experience really shows. I think that showed up on game day, how he was able to operate, how clean we were across the board. He's able to he can go outside just himself. He helps a lot of other guys. If there's any confusion with alignments, concept, responsibility, he's on it. He can really own the entire offense, and that shows. And then just like how much he enjoys being empowered in that way. He really wants to own that. He really wants to go out and help in any way he can, and embraces that. And again, like I said, he did that on Sunday. And then just as himself as a player, he really likes working within the scheme. He wants to be efficient. He wants to get the ball out. He wants to get the ball out fast. He wants to get it out to the right spot. And he operates that way in really kind of everything he does. And truthfully, the fun part is he kind of loves the run game as much as he loves the pass game. That might be a little exaggeration, but he really enjoys just when he can make things right in the run game, and when we can take advantage of premier looks to really get the run game going, because he knows how much that helps the pass. Yeah, I'd say, we kind of take a every week is a new week approach, I think you have to in the NFL these days. There's so many good teams, so many good defenses, and I mean, a great example will be when we play Tennessee next week, and we just played them 2 weeks ago, and it's it's going to be the same game. No, it won't. It never is. It's always different. They do adjustments, we do adjustments, and some of that's the people on the field. So when you approach every week, it's kind of its own week. There's always challenges. There's always different people up. Even if guys are able to play, there's guys that have to deal with different little things that they have to play through, and you kind of can try to help them take care of that to get through games. We're always making adjustments. We're always ready for whatever every week. And I think that's really an organizational view. That's it almost seems like old hat now. It's not really that big of a deal, where it's just you just get into the routine, and that's how you approach every Monday. Let's go next week. I think there's multiple things that play into all of it. I'd say it has far less to do with the playoff push part of it. We're very aware of where we are and what we need to do. But kind of like I just answered, we're really good as a team of just focusing on the next week and what's in front of us. But our mentality is whatever we have to do to win this week, whatever we have to do to win this game. And last week against Tennessee, we felt like the best way to win that game was Case Keenum. And we feel really confident with our quarterback room and the 3 guys that are in there, now 4 with Tim. But we feel great about all of them. And we're going to do the same thing this week as far as whatever it is that we think gives us the best chance to win this week against the Cleveland Browns. That's what you're going to see on Sunday. Yeah, they're tight. They're aggressive in coverage. They try to smother you. They try to make it where, within the timing of the play, you don't feel like you have many answers. And they kind of lean on their pass rush for sure, but they're talented in coverage as well. So you don't have a lot of wiggle room with this defense. It really shows up all over. It shows up in the pass game. It shows up in the run game. You have to play some really clean, almost perfect football if you want to stay on the field and keep it moving. Yeah, it's a completely different scheme from what he was in before. So I think you've seen growth with the offensive line in that regard, just getting familiar with what we're trying to do. It takes time, and they've been bought in from the beginning, but it takes time when you're actually out there playing in games. And I think it's the same with Damian. And unfortunately, when he had the injury and he missed some time, that kind of puts you at a standstill for a little bit, and then he tries to get back on track. And specifically as it relates to him, he's been taking the steps. He's definitely been pushed along in kind of how we want to read things, which I think is a different way of viewing it than he has had in the past. But he's still going where we want him to go, and he's still finishing with a lot of effort. Now he's getting a little less ops right now just because Motor has taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given, But it's still one of those where we want to make sure they're both getting on the field and they're both getting touches. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty similar. That's one of the things I've always thought was really awesome about CJ was adjustments, in-game conversations, things he's seeing, what's going on the field. They were always very quick. They were fast. The amount of preparation he would put in and the work and time he would put in usually made it very clear what we were trying to get done and how fast he could recognize what the defense was trying to get done. Made those conversations pretty quick. And it really wasn't any different with Case. I'd probably say just because of all the experience, Case being able to go out and put it into action really, really fast, like he was elite at that, at some changes and adjustments we made after some things happened. Like he really went out there and executed well in the second half for us. Yeah, I always think it definitely makes it tougher, and it can go both ways, but my experience has been more often than not that first game where it's changed. The defense isn't quite sure how they're going to play. You have an idea, but then to fully adjust to it, usually it's always nice when you have a full game under or on tape that you can go watch and kind of scheme around. But then I also think a large part of it is a lot of the guys that are going out and they're playing really well right now are surrounded by good players. That's a big part of it. That's what we're trying to do here is we want to insulate our quarterback. We want to help our quarterback. We want to make sure that if they get the ball out, we can get more yards than maybe just what was given by scheme, because we think the guys we're getting the ball to can go make plays. And I think that's really across the NFL. The guys that are in there right now, in Cincinnati and out there making plays as backup quarterbacks are surrounded by guys that are good. Yeah, definitely expecting him to not be in one spot, without a doubt. He's done that quite a bit this year already, and I would foresee that against us, with Laramie out there also. We feel good, or at least as good as you can, about the plan we have to help take care of Miles, which is a challenge. I think he's playing some of the best football in the NFL at any position right now. He's almost unblockable at times. So we're doing everything we can to help take care of that, not just up front in protection, but in ways you can get rid of the ball, ways you can offset things. But we're ready for wherever he winds up lining up. And then, as far as how valuable it is having Kiff on the staff, like I had a lot of always use all the tools that we have available to us. We're always looking to see if we can get any more information, any little nugget to help us out. And obviously Kiff is very familiar with what they do and have done up front, so that definitely has been valuable.